Howdy, 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 folks. Joel for Black.Death.Thrash.Doom here once again, and I really did try to get you guys videos sooner. I actually recorded 2 quick blast reviews for a couple of my favorite albums ever, and they were just horrible failures. I don't know what it is with quick blast reviews, but I have a really hard time doing them. It's just something I think I need more practice at. I'm really used to talking about video games, but I'm not used to talking about one album at a time. The ones that I've done so far I feel have turned out okay. It's just that the ones that I keep recording and sometimes just erase completely, there are plenty of them and they just don't come out right. So anyways, I am going to have another quick blast review for you. I'm actually going to have 2. I'm going to try to re-record the 2 that I have and get those done finally. But in the meantime, I did pick up 6 CDs. Not a huge pickup, but definitely some really good quality releases that I just wanted to talk about and share with you guys. So, the first one being Emulation from New York. This is their 2010 release, Majesty and Decay. And first of all, the cover is really awesome, and the inner artwork is really awesome as well. Just a really cool CD. I love it. It's really heavy, almost doomy at times because it's just so heavy and downtuned, and just rhythmically a very good album that just kind of crushes and pummels you. It's pretty awesome. I really like Emulation. I pretty much always have. My favorite album being Failures for Gods, which is not most people's favorite death metal album, but yeah, or favorite Emulation album, but it's definitely one of my favorites, and this is actually quickly becoming one of my favorites. I really like how deep and dark it sounds. The second one that I got is something that I used to have, like, remember back in the day when you had burned CDs, and if you were really cool, you made album covers for your CDs that were burned, and then they looked like authentic CDs. This is one of the CDs that I had like that, where I had the burned copy, and then I had the little freaking homemade, crappy cover that I pre-printed myself, or printed myself, I should say. I can't talk today. Anyways, Hypocrisy Into the Abyss. This is more mid-era Hypocrisy, a little more melodic, a little more controlled, but very good. It was an album that I always liked, but I couldn't really pinpoint exactly why. There's nothing specifically that stands out on it. There's plenty of other albums that sound fairly similar, that maybe even are better, but it's still something that I really love. It's a pretty good album. I tend to like Hypocrisy's mid-era quite a bit. I actually am one of the people that really likes most Hypocrisy eras, but the mid-era is pretty much my favorite. And it was actually about this time that I saw them live, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, Hypocrisy Into the Abyss, if you don't know, are fairly melodic death metal, fronted by Peter Tagtrent, who is responsible for producing some of the greatest black and death metal albums of our time. Just really good stuff. I suggest you check out Hypocrisy if you haven't heard them before. These guys, I'm sure most of you have heard. Crowbar, and this is the Lifeblood for the Downtrodden, and I really like the cover on this one as well. It's just kind of a foresty, swampy scene, probably really hard to see, but you could always pull up a Google image, and just really cool looking. Crowbar is just kind of swampy doom metal mixed with kind of thrashy elements, and it's just old school metal, man. It's freaking metal. That's what it is. Crowbar is freaking awesome, and I love how heavy they are. The vocals are just amazing, and I just don't have enough Crowbar albums. They're all good. That's the one thing about Crowbar, is they've been around for such a long time, and yet, you know, they kind of still fly under the radar. Sure, a lot of people know who they are, but a lot of people don't. And a lot of people don't realize how many albums they have. There are a lot, and they're all pretty damn good. I can't really think of a bad album of theirs. So, Crowbar, Lifeblood for the Downtrodden. I got that one for fairly cheap at the local store, and I was pretty stoked. I've been wanting that one for a little while. Okay, so the next one, you guys are probably going to be stoked about. I know one of my viewers is going to be stoked. I can't remember which viewer it was, but on my top 10 death metal list, he made a comment and said something like, awesome list, but needs more Autopsy. And I was like, you know, that is a band that I've ignored for so long. Like, I've literally, for some reason, you know, there's just that band that you've never heard, and people are like, why? There's a few of those for me, and I listen to a lot of music, but somehow I've skipped over Autopsy and a couple other greats, and it was one that I decided I needed to delve into. So this is Autopsy's Severed Survival, and What's cool is this is the 2009 Peaceful re-release with the extra disc that has all kinds of rare tracks, and I got this really cheap used, so really freaking cool to find this. And damn, this is really funny. When I first put this in, you automatically, when you open a CD, you open a CD like this, and you put the CD in. That's exactly what I did, and I ended up listening to disc 2 a couple times before I really realized it and was like, oh crap, I haven't listened to the first disc yet. Of course, the first disc is the main album, and I was actually surprised at how good the second disc was. You know, I figured that was going to be kind of filler material, and it was not at all. It was great, great death metal, and the first disc is even better. It's just, Severed Survival is one of those albums I completely missed and never even heard a moment of, and now I'm like, damn, how did I miss this? It's just super dark, heavy death metal from back in the day. This is from 89, and apparently these guys are from Oakland, California. I didn't know that either. Apparently I didn't know anything about Autopsy. I was just missing this band on my radar completely, so that's pretty cool, actually. I'm really glad to learn something about an old band, and really been getting into like older metal lately. I've been listening to like old Megadeth and old Metallica and like old ass Slayer, like Show No Mercy era Slayer, and old death metal, and just pretty cool stuff like that. So Autopsy is a welcome breath of fresh air for somebody delving into exactly that. Okay, so next one is something I'm quite familiar with. I loved this album when it came out, when I was a teenager. This is 91, so I guess I wasn't even quite a teenager yet, and I didn't hear this right when it came out, but when I did hear it, not too long after it came out, a year or two after this came out, Carcass's artwork was just an amazing album, man. It was freaking... The vocals got me. I hadn't heard a lot of Carcass before, but the vocals on this one really got me because they're more of a higher register growl instead of the low growls, and I was used to Cannibal Corpse, and I was used to Morbid Angel and all these bands with low growls, and then it was like this raspy, awesome, almost black metal, dare I say, vocal style with the Heartwork album. This album is arguably my favorite Carcass. I like the older stuff, okay, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's like horrible, I'm not saying it's great either. It's not bad for me. I don't mind it, I don't hate it. It's almost background noise for me. Old Carcass is not bad. I say that a few times. But Heartwork, for some reason, really hit me because of the awesome production and the ability to mix in some just amazing melodic moments with some really fast, awesome parts and some real aggression and just catchy, catchy songs. I know back then you were looking for more of the darker, not so catchy stuff, but fuck, Heartwork just kicked my ass. I love that CD. And speaking of CDs, I love the last one I have for you is Death, Human. And this is the Relapse re-release of this album from, God, I don't even remember what year, 2001 I believe. But originally this album came out in 1991. And it's really cool. It's got a little embossed Death logo on there. And the second track has basic instrumental studio tracks is what it says for Human. And some Human demo tracks as well. And so Human is one of those albums that a lot of people say is like, this is Death's definitive moment. For me, I think Symbolic was. I actually like Human quite a bit, but Symbolic has always been my favorite, and dare I say, Sound of Perseverance is probably my second favorite album. I think right before he died, he had just reached this moment of just amazingness, moment of clarity. And yeah, Death is just amazing. That's not to put Human down. It's just an album I'm not as familiar with, and I've only heard really a few times, and so I'm kind of delving into it now, and I really, really like it. It's kind of the same story as Individual Thought Patterns, although I was even more familiar with that than I am Human, so if that tells you anything, I'm really not too familiar with Human. Listened to it a few times now, and it's pretty damn good. It's not even pretty damn good, it's really, really good, but still need to give it a few more spins to really digest it all. I doubt I'll ever love a Death album as much as I love Symbolic. That was, if you guys watched my top 10 death metal albums of all time, that was my #1 album of all time, Symbolic. So, yeah, these are my 6 pickups. What do you guys think? You guys fans of all these? Nice little variety, but oddly enough, not a black metal album in here, and usually when I pick up CDs it's 90% black metal, not so much death metal, but this time it's all death metal except for Crowbar. Yeah, but Crowbar kicks ass, arguably one of the best CDs in here. Autopsy is fucking amazing. It's so good. So, let me know what you guys thought of this pickup. Let me know what you guys think of these CDs. If you like the video, please give a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there. It's red and it says subscribe. And leave a comment. I always like to know what you guys think, and I love answering comments. It's my favorite part of making these videos. So, without further ado, that's all I have for you guys. I am going to do my Quick Blast reviews, and I am going to, I'm really going to try to do it once a week. I say that, and it's really hard for me to really stand behind it because I'm so busy, and I have the other channel, but I actually did try. It's just that they failed miserably, so I'm going to try next week. You will see some Quick Blast reviews, and hopefully more than one a week. They're really easy to make once I actually get in the groove, but I just haven't been in the groove, so pickups it is for now. Thank you guys very much, and keep it fucking metal.